Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome onto my channel today, and it gives me great joy to observe you are viewing this video. I am Dr. Olayinka Akwale. I am a lecturer in the university. I am a public speaker. I'm a researcher. I'm a life coach. On this channel, I do a number of stuffs, but all the stuffs I do on this channel, you can cluster them into four: sociology, research, migration, and relationship. And I do all this as regularly as possible to add value to my subscribers, to be able to be sure they are the best in all areas of their life. Meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe immediately and join my family of subscribers and viewers. If you have subscribed previously, thank you very much for staying tuned. Today, I want to, address a very important topic. I've been drawing contents, making videos on these four areas, and I've been making videos on migration. So view this channel very well. You will see a number of videos. So today, I want to look at issues, particularly around experiences of people abroad. And this video is based on my many years of experience, even myself as migrants across borders, my researches as migration experts, scholar, and experiences of people that have counseled over the years and that I still counsel even now. And research, many years of research also. So today, I want you to view this content to the end. It will help you, whether you are intending to migrate, you have not migrated but planning, or you have migrated, you're already abroad, or you have families or friends abroad, or things around that. And though this video, I titled it, in Canada and the UK, it doesn't matter the country you are abroad or you want to go, you will find it very useful. So the title of this video is Common Problems People Face in Canada and the UK and Solutions to Them. So I'm not just going to be giving you problems. I'll be telling you things you can do or that you can advise people to do. Number one is the issue of rent. In Canada now, in the UK, the issue of rent is actually very bad, very high, very astronomical. In fact, in the UK now, in London and some other places, even in Canada, in Toronto, you will find people queuing up to even examine apartments. Before you pay, other people are already making higher payments and the rest of that. So there's a lot of stress around this rent accommodation. So because of excessive pressure on accommodation, rents are increasing. So what do you do about this? And the rent is not only about rent or issue, but it's about even paying too much for less quality or value. So it's a lot of stress and frustration. If you pay and you are paying for something that is worthy of the amount, then you are fine. But you pay so much for little. So it's a lot of problem. And it's difficult to come back even accommodation, accounting for reasons. I made a video on reasons people are leaving Canada, and I've made videos also on a number of issues. So what do you do about rent? Number one is that if you are migrating, you just want to move, make sure you move with money. You need money. Come to Canada or UK with appreciable amount of money that can give you decent house to start with. Another one is to be sure that you get a job, not necessarily in London or Toronto or any city. Get a job, maybe far from the city. Accommodation rent tend to be lower far from the city center. So get a plan strategically to get a job out of the town, out of city, and now get accommodation close to your place of work. This is very important. Another important thing is that you may plan for shared apartments. I remember when I was in a country, we got a duplex, and the duplex has 4 rooms and a living room. So 4 of us would share the rooms in the duplex ourselves, 1 room per person. We're 4. And we're using the sitting room as a common room that we all share. So, and that one brought the rent down for us to bear until we are all separated to bigger places. But share with people of like minds. Don't share with criminals. Don't share with people you don't know. If you share with other nationalities, make sure you know them very well. So I mean, if you have a family, well, that's a different issue. You may have to get, as small apartment as possible, but still close to your areas of operation. So another one is high taxation. I've heard people talk about tax. The tax is so high. Well, the only solution to that, tax is very high. Even in Canada, in UK, they live on taxation. You have to know these are countries that make a lot of money. I've heard people complain about it. You make money, the system takes the money back from you. Yeah, that's the way it's wired. They live on taxation, and tax is high to sustain the facilities. Your only solution to that is to adapt your mind. Accept it and live with it and enjoy yourself. So don't let it frustrate you. Adapt your mind and adapt your head. That this place I am, they pay high taxation. That's why the system is running. That's why we have the facilities we are enjoying. So you have to contribute your own. People have been contributing. When I first moved into a country abroad, I had this problem. I was paying like a third of my pay as salaries. I nearly went crazy. And I said, wow. But I like to caution myself. I said, well, these rates I'm paying as tax is my contribution to the system. I just manage the rest. So I don't give myself stress. So accept it and live with it. That's the way the place is wired. Enjoy yourself. Number 3 is grocery. Cost of grocery, cost of feeding, food, inflation now very high. So cost of living, cost of groceries, I know is very high. People talk about difficulty in even feeding. So your solution, cut your ration. Don't eat too frequently. Don't starve, but don't eat too frequently. So that one is important. Don't say, okay, because you see, food in supermarket, in the store, you say this is cheap now, so you buy it, en masse. No, or in bulk, too much. If you don't need bulk, buy what you need to eat per time. And don't eat all the time. Don't eat too frequently. Be disciplined. Don't be a glutton. Eat only what you need to survive, so you can cut cost on these groceries. Don't just say because you are lonely, you are bored, you just keep eating. It's not good for your health and it's not good for your pocket. Cut your ration, buy per time. Also, don't say because, okay, I'm from Africa, I'm from Asia, I must eat African food. You are just deceiving yourself. Adapt your taste. Eat what they eat there. It's commonly said that when you are in Rome, you behave like what? Romans. Adapt your taste. If I go abroad, I can't say I want to buy just one small tuber of yam for 10, 15 pounds. Why? Why do I want to do that? I simply eat food that African food, Asian food, except I'm celebrating something. I just want to give myself a treat. I don't go there and buy them all the time. I buy cheap rice, I buy cheap things. There are food stores, there are groceries that are very cheap. Maybe people don't buy them too much. So as much as you want to eat your African food, Asian food, or any food you want to eat, let it be once in a while. Adapt your taste, adapt your mind, adapt your head to what they eat there that is available and cheap and affordable. That's very important. There's also another problem with bad news. Too many bad news abroad. Some people just reel out very bad news, why the country is frustrating, why they have made mistakes. It's a big problem. I'm calling it a problem because it can affect your psychology. It can demobilize you, not to be able to take advantage of that country you are. Canada is a great place. UK is a great place. So move away from bad news. Move away from toxic people. Move away from people that will motivate you, that will tell you good news about how people are making it in those places. So bad news is a big problem. Many people are having a lot of problems because of too much bad news. So what do? Guard your heart. That's where you have the issues of life. Listen to only good news. Move away from people who share bad news. Move away from toxic people that will continue to give you bad news. So build networks that are functional. Build networks with people that are motivating, with positive energy. Make friends with people with vibes, positive vibes. They will lift you higher. Cut your network from people who share bad news and carry bad news all the time. So stay simple. And then there's issue of transportation. People complain about cost of transportation or how to move around. So one thing I will tell you about transportation is don't buy cars too early, except you need cars. In some countries, especially in the UK, even in Canada, the cost of insurance, comprehensive insurance, the cost of maintaining the car, the cost of running the cars, within a year will likely be more than the amount you bought the car. So many people travel abroad to the UK, to Canada, they want to replicate the kind of lifestyle they were living in their home country. That's a fallacy. You're going to be frustrated, obviously. We have people who have sold 3 or 4 cars to move to those places, so-called big men, big women from their countries. So they get to Canada, they get to UK, they want to continue the big man lifestyle. There will be problem. Those places are humblers. UK and Canada, they are levelers. I call them levelers. They bring everybody to the same level. No big man, no poor man. So don't come with your poor big man mentality from Africa or Asia. So you have drivers, you have many cars. So the first thing you want to do when you get to Canada or UK is to buy cars. No, those systems are not wired in that manner. Don't rush to buy car, except it becomes very compulsory and you have settled, you have understood the system. So go for public transport, buy your tickets in bulk and buy them ahead. And work on your mind and psychology that this place you are, no big man. Use public transport. You know, and another thing is data, airtime, high cost of data, airtime. People in Canada, UK, abroad want to keep in touch with home. Many of them are also very on their own, so they go online all the time, buy. So they complain about data. What do? Buy cheap lines. Buy cheap cards that can help you to call. Make your research to buy airtime only when you need and cheap ones. And buy data only when you need and cheap data. And don't be online all the time, solving internets that are not necessary. Be disciplined. I am always online, but I only go online when I need to go. Maybe I want to upload my videos on my YouTube, check my WhatsApp, and check my Facebook and my handles randomly to see for update. Other than that, I move offline. I don't waste my money on data unproductively. When I buy data, I use them for productive things. So don't be online all the time and buy cheap lines and cheap cards or data. Another thing is loneliness. I have a video on this channel on loneliness, how to overcome loneliness abroad. Many people are lonely, yet it's very dangerous for you to be lonely. Sociologists argue that when you are isolated, it makes your brain to misfire. So don't be lonely. Build networks, explore your environment, make friends with good people, build strong networks. So view my video on loneliness abroad and how to overcome. So loneliness is a big problem abroad, where people are broken away from their network, from their home countries. They don't trust people in Canada and the UK. So they simply go to work, come back home. Go to work, come back home. Even home is lonely. So loneliness is a big problem. Prepare for it that you will be lonely at some point. Not everybody, but at some point you may be lonely. So what you need to do is to build strong networks and work on your mind and never be isolated. Make some good friends at work, in your area, go to a religious center, go to mosque, go to church, go to where you can meet people, go to park, explore your environment. Another problem is loneliness. Loneliness and racism is the next one. I've just mentioned loneliness. Another one is racism. Racism is normal. The other day I was in a country in Europe. I was in a bus and you see some people entered and they simply refused to sit beside me. Even it was snowing, I was waiting for the bus I wanted to use, and some people, immediately they saw me at the station, they simply moved away and went back into the snow. They didn't want to stay with me. Was that my problem? They can as well. Then that gives me more space to enjoy myself. So I didn't mind them. And when I was in the car, in the bus, all of them parked to one side, refused to stay beside me. It's not my problem. I didn't even bother me at all. So racism is everywhere, verbal and non-verbal, behavioral and assumed. So I don't assume and I don't care. So develop this skill. I have another video on this channel on racism. So you can view that video too. So don't let it get at you at all. Adapt your mind and don't care about it. It's normal, but it's not your problem. So don't be a racist and also don't let racism get at you. Depression is another problem. Many people abroad are depressed. So use the same strategy for loneliness and racism to overcome depression and seek help on time. If you need help, seek help. Talk to therapists, talk to your friends, talk to your networks. Let them know you're not feeling happy. Depression is when you feel perpetually happy for weeks. You don't, things that used to interest you don't interest you anymore. You are moving towards depression. I have a video on this channel on mental health. Check that video so you can, don't let it demobilize you. Another problem is work-life imbalances, or what I call role conflicts. Many people have problems to balance their work with their home, with their education and some other things. We call it work-life balance problem, or work-life imbalance, or role conflict, because you just see that you are not able to achieve something along the side. You have so many things you are doing: your work, your home, your marriage, your children, and your education. So you have problems along this line. So what you do to balance everything is maintain a focus. Focus on a thing per time. And by time means maybe what you want to do in the morning, afternoon, night must be clear, and then you must have a plan. You have to strategize yourself. Don't be random, just running everywhere. No. Then you need a strategy to be able to balance, because everything must work together. If you make money from work and you destroy your home, your children turn out to be vagabonds. So you've not made anything ultimately. So you have to balance everything. Focus on your goal, the bigger picture, the big vision. Have a plan on how to achieve all of these clusters of issues, one after the other, and have a strategy. Another one is excessive workloads, especially for international students studying abroad. Education in Canada, in UK, is more rigorous in a way, and it's real time compared to Africa or Asia. You know, you have deadlines to submit assignment, and it's online. They must be original. If you don't submit online, the portal is shut. So you have a lot of work to do. So you have a lot of African students having problems with excess workload. What do? Focus. Focus on what is important. And let your education be paramount. If you come in as an international student, you will need that your international student status to continue to move, maybe to PR, or to continue to move to work permits, or to be able, otherwise, if you mess up your education, you may be stranded in the system. So you have to focus on your time. Many international students work more than study, and it will affect their study ultimately. Don't do that. If you're an international student, let your focus be on your studies primarily. That's why you are in UK. That's why you are in Canada. So I've seen many people even who are on fully funded studies, on scholarship. They still work more than even the scholarship they have come to enjoy. Prioritize. Let the vision be clear, and focus on your education. Submit your assignment on time. Read and clear your backload. That is your workload. So don't have carryover. Don't mess up your education because you are running after money. Focus on your studies. Adapt to the educational system. And once you adapt, you see that it's very easy. Easier than Africa and Asia, because it's a structured educational system. So another one is tuition fees. I've seen people complain about tuition fees. International students, how do I pay my fees? Can I work and pay my fees? It's not easy. It's not easy. You pay rent, you pay for transport, you pay for a lot of things. It's not easy to work in the UK or work in Canada and to pay tuition. That's why you need proof of funds before they give you the visa. So don't think you want to go to the UK or Canada to work to pay your fees. Pay your fees before you leave your home country. It's very important. Or you pay parts. Substantial part must have been paid, because you cannot easily work and pay fees, tuition. So the only way is to pay part of your fees or all before you come to Canada or UK, so that you don't start struggling with fees, tuition fees. It will be you may be stressed, you may be destroyed. Pressure will literally kill you. So, and if you want to work and pay, well, good luck to you, but focus on your studies and work very hard so you can still manage to work and pay some of your fees, but it will be difficult and it may not make you get the best out of the studies ultimately. So it's not easy. So another problem is stress. Many people are stressed overseas. Just continue to work on your head, that it will be well, say good things to yourself, and create quality time to rest. There's also the problem of violence now. Crime is increasing in Canada exponentially. You know, they are beginning to have gun violence. They are beginning to have. The other day I was in Toronto, and I heard of things on the news, and I was wondering, in Canada, why? You have the issue of stabbing, killing now, just fighting. So stay safe, move away from gang violence, don't work too late at night, get your pepper spray, let people know where you're going per time, and make sure you don't get to watch people fighting. Don't live in gangsters areas. When you go to wherever you're going, let people know where you're going. Don't stay too late at night. Don't work too late. Don't go too early in the morning. Stay safe. Keep your cars safe. If you have a car theft is also high now. Secure it with maximum security, both electronic and physical. A big problem is marriage. Many marriages, relationships are crashing. This is a very big problem in Canada and the UK now. People from Africa, especially Africans. Asians, where they have their problem, but Africans have the highest problems in these areas. Women throwing away throwing out their spouses, husbands also having sexual and gender-based violence, violating their wives in a way, emotionally, sexually, and some other ways. Physically, you see women also are, UK, Canada don't necessarily break your relationship, but they bring out who you are. If you've just been managing your relationship, you are not happy, your marriages in your home country, when you get here, you just see opportunity to break the marriage. But you can say when you are having problems, talk to people, talk to your elders, talk to your people in your community, discuss you and your spouse, or the people you are relating with, your fiancé, make sure you settle it. A big problem is marriage collapse, relationship destruction. Very common in the UK and Canada. But it doesn't have to be that way. Always find a way to solve these problems before they go out of hand. Manage pressure from home. It's another problem. So many people in Canada, UK, abroad have pressures from home. Send money, send money, send money. And the money is not there. So when these people saying send money from home, they are even enjoying more than these people in Canada. Straight, isn't it? The amount of people in UK, they are enjoying no free money. So what do you do to overcome pressures of send money from home? Send only when you have. Don't let them put you under pressure. If you don't have, tell them you don't have. I don't have a job now. I don't have money now. I'll send when I have. And when you have, send what you can afford. Don't impress anybody. It's your life. If you die, they will live their life at home. Send money only when you have. I'll send what you can afford. And don't be random. Don't let them feel that anytime they need money, they can always call you. They will turn you to their ATM, and you will lose out ultimately. Focus your life. I have a video on how to make sure that money sent home are used appropriately. View it. The money you are sending, build house for me, build mall for me. Make sure you following up. View that video on how to make sure that remittances sent home are used for the right purposes. It's on this channel. So that you don't just keep sending money and they destroy it. There is a house now in a country in Africa that I'm aware of. Big house, well built, big house. I mean big, with a big Q. Blocks of flats. They are going to demolish that house now. Why? They have painted, they have roofed, they have put air conditioner, but they discovered that the person that was building the house just built with fake materials. If you nail anything to the wall will just simply open up. So they're going to demolish the whole house. The money the person has worked for overseas, they have wasted it in the home country. So monitor what you are sending up is very important. There's also the problem with children, how to raise children abroad. So focus on your children, balance it. If you are coming abroad for the first time, you may not need to move with your whole family. You may move first, and when you are settled, bring others. Make sure when you have children, you may have to bring people from your home country to come and assist you to train them. Because if you want to train your children in Canada, UK yourself, you may not work. You will use your whole time training your kids, and you won't work. Then you will suffer. How do you want to pay your bills? Bills are big problems there. You pay bills on everything. Somebody said the only witchcraft pursuing people in Canada and UK and abroad, the witchcraft is only bills. Bills combined is the witchcraft. So how do you overcome? You have to settle your bill. The only way is to work. Nobody gives you free money here. People get broke here, and that's another problem. People get broke easily. And when they are broke, nobody to help them. Everybody is struggling. Unlike in Africa or Asia, you can say, hey, my brother, bro, send money to me. Nobody send money to you in UK or Canada. So people get broke here. It's another major problem. And when you get broke, what do? So what you do is to plan yourself, not to get broke. Live within your means. Live within your means. Don't join others. Buy what you need per time and live within your means so that you don't get, you are not broke. If you are broke, you are in trouble. You simply find yourself on the street. Nobody will beg for you and nobody will pay for you. So live within your means. Being broke is another one. For your children, take care of them very well. There's poor social life in UK and Canada. Everybody faces work, and their business. No party, no owambe. Not going to party, not going to social clubs. All your time you spend working. So it's a big problem, but you still have to party. That's the logic. So social life, you have to create one. Otherwise, you'll be isolated, you'll be depressed, you'll be lonely. No social life is a big problem. Unlike in Africa, where you can go to Owambe, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, party, club, and guys, let's roll it, this and that. So, but in those places, it's not like that. But you have to still create social life for yourself. Meet with friends, create time to do party, and go there. People are afraid that if I go to people, they might put me in trouble. Not necessarily. Enjoy yourself. Create some social life so that you don't get isolated. Join networks, join groups in church, join groups in mosque, join groups in your community, go play in the club, create some social clients. And now, another problem is excessive buying. People buy too much. You buy on sales. Excessive consumerism. You are getting credit because you have credit card, you are buying this, buying that. No. Buy only what you need. You don't have to buy on sales all the time if you don't need it. It once happened to me when I was in a country abroad. I was always looking for sales. Before you know it, my house is full of rubbish. I thought it's cheap. If it's cheap and you are buying what you don't need, how is that cheap? It has become expensive. You have only helped the store to clear their garbage and to make more money from you. So buy only what you need. Don't consume too much. Excessive buying on sales what you don't need doesn't make sense. Buy only what you need. Don't consume more than you can because you may not break even. So seek counsel. If you need more counsel, drop your comments on this in the comment section if you want things for me to talk about or you want to give me feedback. But all these are things I've put together. And pray, ultimately. The ultimate solution is pray. Pray. Pray to God to help you to overcome all these challenges, and God will surely help you. Kindly subscribe to this channel and tell others about it. Share. Until I see you in my next video, be your best.